Marketing strategy formulation is a crucial step in success for a business. Creating the best marketing strategy possible is key to raising revenue and being profitable business. An essential step in this process is analyzing past company and sales data and your demographics needs. You want to know what your customer wants so you can better design your product for them. Then you need to take this information from this research and properly execute your strategy. So when looking at past company sales data, I could go to customer purchases and see how much my large customers were buying and how much my small customers were buying, as well as within my large customers each different segment and how much they buy from me each quarter. Then to analyze my demographics and customers' needs in order to know what I need to do to better my product for them, I could go over to customer satisfaction, and I could listen to each one of them and see what they had to say about my product, like so. This was extremely helpful when it came to making my decisions on what I need to do to get my customers to buy more and for me to raise my revenue. Next, customer needs analysis is an extremely helpful tool to use when making future business decisions. You can see why the customers, on this page, you can see why the customers like your product and also what they didn't like. From this information, you can make future decisions on anything from sales staff and training to product design and development. With this information, without this information, a revenue manager wouldn't know how to please the people or businesses that buy their product. This was very important. Some customers would complain that they didn't have enough time with their sales staff, in which case I could check here. Right here. And this would show the amount of time and how well my sales staff is doing with each of my customers. If they were quite unhappy with how I spent with them, it would say poor, and I could go back over here to the Decisions tab and change how much time I spent with each guest, or each customer. Next, segmentation, targeting, and positioning are all great tools in ensuring your company's success. You want to separate your customers into segments to better know one from the other. This will help you to define their needs and wants. With this information, you can then target the customer segment specifically. For example, in my strategy, I targeted my marketing efforts toward my loyal customers, and that was a wise choice. It increased my revenue each time, the more I focused on what they needed, and the more I focused my sales staff on them. All of this helps put your company into the best possible position for success. So because customer A was more loyal to me, I would always put more sales emphasis towards them, and much less sales emphasis towards segment B, because they were loyal to my competitor. The pricing strategy can be difficult. Every change in price can affect your profits. It depends on whether or not the customers are price sensitive and the quality of your product. Non-price sensitive customers are looking to see what the product, or to see that the product or service is of the good quality at any price. Price sensitive customers are looking for good quality at the right price that they believe is the correct value for the product they are purchasing. Offering discounts to companies and distributors can aid when dealing with price sensitive customers. So because my smaller customers have to go through the distributor, I would offer, and they generally need to pay less, I would offer my distributor a 20% discount. Segment D was also price sensitive, and I would continually add discounts to them as I raised my price. Next, how you manage your channel conflict and your consistency across all channels is important when making decisions. When you have a conflict with any channel, it is vital to your business's success that you make a decision to resolve that. Making these resolutions will lead to higher profits and higher levels of customer satisfaction. It's simple. When you fix a problem for your customer, they are in turn happier with your business, and will likely return to spend more money with you, which will obviously increase your revenues and profits each quarter. Next, using the financial metrics given to me greatly helped me in decision-making process. Being able to analyze product performance, past spending on products in relation to the profit margin, helped me decide how I would spend my money in the future. These metrics let me see exactly what resulted from my decisions and let me compare the results with results from past decisions. This really helped me develop a strong strategy. So all the financial metrics are on the top tab, and these are where I would take a look each time before I would go through and make my decisions on what segment and what type of customer was doing what they were purchasing. And then furthermore, I would go to the income statement and see what kind of revenue I was getting from each customer, what kind of expenses I had incurred, and what my cumulative profit was. These were the financial metrics that I used most often. In the long term, appreciating the relationship between customer satisfaction and buying patterns, loyalty, and firm profitability is key. Understanding that because segment A is loyal, and that means you should target your marketing efforts toward them, is crucial in having success in this simulation. After looking through what customers had to say, I would make changes on marketing efforts and in return receive higher profits. This goes back to when I would look at my customer satisfaction, and I would look at the most dissatisfied customers and see what their complaints were and base my decisions for next quarters off that. So overall, I really appreciate what the simulation has taught me. The whole simulation is very well put together. It, in a great way, shows the basics of marketing and revenue management. I learned a lot from this simulation that I hadn't known about revenue managing before, and I believe it's a really good start to understanding the role of what this position would be in a company. If they could improve on anything, I would say that they could add more variables. They could make it a little less quickly, I would say, because this is obviously a very simple simulation, and I believe that there would be many more things to look at, many more financial metrics to look at, and many other things to consider if you were an actual revenue manager of a company. But overall, I think they did a great job, and I believe that this taught me a lot about how to be a revenue manager.